Hi, Heather. Yeah.
How are you?
Oh, I can hear you. I'm good. And you?
Good. Yeah, good, good. I'm just getting my little microphones and everything set and ready.
Okay.
Here we go. Okay, so that.
Just working out to make you okay.
Can you hear me okay? Is it coming
Yep.
through? Okay.
Yep.
Is it loud enough?
Yes. Yep. And you can hear me?
Yeah,
Good.
all
Okay.
good. All is good. Okay,
Yes.
perfect. And then what I'll do is
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and share my screen as well. So I'm just getting my little monitor set up just to test that too.
Okay.
Okay, so here we go
Okay, great.
here.
Thank you. Sorry, Heather. I was just talking with a colleague. Just want to make sure we got everything in place.
Yeah, you do what you need to do. You are good.
Yeah, sorry about getting the examples to you so late and the link. I
No,
thought normally comms would just send it out to you. That's what I thought happened last time. But anyway, so I
I
didn't
think it
have it
did
either.
last time, but I just
Yeah,
didn't. I wasn't on the
yeah,
thing, but it's fine. No,
yeah.
easy.
We're
And that I always get the examples a few days ahead, so you perfect. All
yeah.
good.
Okay.
So I need access to share the screen
Okay. So I've got to make you host then.
or co-host.
It's just I'm just going to try this now. Make host.
Go ahead.
Um,
Okay, yeah, I am. I am able to see the share. Perfect. Okay, so what I'll do, get my slides around here. Play slideshow. That's the wrong one. Stop. It's this screen over here. Share here. That one. Okay. Are you seeing my slides okay?
yes.
Okay,
Social
good.
media masterclass presenter Heather Porter.
That's the one.
Okay.
Um, so I can see it's recording this time, so I don't have to touch anything with that, do I?
Correct.
Okay. People coming in the room, do you want me to monitor that like last time and just keep
Yes,
letting them
please.
in?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Did that? When I do that, does my screen go black? I'm just curious what you're
Yes.
seeing. Okay, good. That's helping me know. I have two screens. I have to move everything around in different
Okay.
panels.
And when you're looking at my screen, what are you seeing?
I just see us chatting. I don't see you sharing anything.
Okay. All right. So
Yeah.
is there a background? Because it's
Oh,
not.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
there's a
All
background.
right.
There's a beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Okay.
Okay, good. Let's do this again. I'm gonna get this monitor here. View. And
We've got 395
oh
registrations,
my
by the way. Sorry.
goodness.
Mm.
That's incredible. That's amazing.
Yeah. So just before we start, I've got to reclaim host, correct?
Yes.
Yep. And then I'll bring it over to you. Yeah.
Yes. And
Okay.
there might be is there a co-host option for me?
Not on
There's
here.
not.
It's not. Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I
Got
was
it.
trying to look around.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay. Okay.
Window. Hi. Go. Okay. Just gonna try sharing one more time and just unshare so I can play around with those settings. Okay, now that's up
Yep.
there. I
Got
can
the
see
first
all my
screen, the
I can see
slide.
my
Yep.
perfect. And now I can see my window with our chat
Yep.
and I can see all the participants and I can see my slides. So we're good. We should be,
Okay. Good.
yeah, it's all looking good. All right. So then I will stop sharing because it'll stop anyway when
Okay.
we go.
Okay. Excellent.
Perfect. So like last time then I'll just you'll do the intro and then
I'll
come in
do
at
the
the end.
intro,
Okay.
and then I'll do it over. I'll hand it over to you.
Okay.
Make you host again, and then you present. Um, so last time, did you answer some questions during the slides, or you during the presentation? You did, and then we had a few at the end. Yep.
I did. Yeah, I was just checking to see what was going on throughout. If there were
Yeah.
pertinent questions, and I'm happy to do that again. I
Okay.
feel like it worked quite well.
Yeah, it worked quite well.
Okay,
And hopefully we won't have the writing on the slides.
yes, yes. I don't. Okay, where is that? Do you know where
Oh,
that?
I'll have
It's.
to look at my notes. But oh my goodness, let me have a look.
Do you want me to make you host again? By the way.
Yes, that'd be good. Yeah,
Okay. Make host. All right.
thank
Let
you.
me just put that in here. Okay, you should be the host. So
Yes,
that's a setting that's just turned off. Is that right?
yes.
Okay.
And I see there's 20 in the waiting room. Now I've got to find you again, Heather. Okay, I've got it here. All right. I'll just find that setting. Yeah, it's to turn off the pen function, also called annotation tool on Zoom. While sharing your screen, click More in the screen sharing controls. Then select Disable Participant Annotation.
Do you see that from your end?
Let me see. Click More in the screen. Duck, duck, duck. So, just bear with me.
Yeah, no problem.
More in the screen. Maybe it's
I see a
under.
more button on my end.
Yep.
It's in our chat. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
three little dots.
Yeah, I see that. But I don't see that part about disabled. Yeah, notes option. Yeah, I don't see that part about the annotation and disabled participant annotation. I don't see that.
Is
Not
that
in that more section.
okay?
Just thinking where else. Um, no, I don't see that.
Maybe it was already turned off at the Zoom settings. Who knows?
Perhaps because there is a part to go in your Zoom settings or account
Yeah.
settings to disable it. Okay. Because I thought that I was actually doing it because I was just moving my mouse around. And I thought, oh no, maybe I'm doing that, but it wasn't. Mm. Now it's showing 4 in the waiting room. Oh, well, there's 39 participants.
I don't see any of that from my end.
Yeah. Two minutes.
Okay.
So maybe just on the dot, I'll let everyone in.
Sure.
Okay.
And then I can continue from there whenever you want to flick over host
Yep.
to me.
Okay. Good morning from Sydney, and welcome to the Pacific Trade Invest Australia social media webinar. Great to have you join us. We have had an outstanding response with over 395 registrations. My name is Myra O'Donnell, the Export Services Manager at PTI, working in the trade division, supporting businesses in the Pacific. Digital and e-commerce platforms have become essential to doing business globally, especially post-COVID. As people are more connected than ever, by participating in this webinar, we hope to help you build your brand and boost the sales of your products or services through social media. PTI Australia have been operating in the Australian market since 1979. We develop and promote businesses and people from the Pacific through trade, investment, and tourism. Before we start, a special thank you to the Pacific Islands Forum Secretariat based in Suva for the ongoing support, as well as the Australian Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade. Before I ask Heather Porter, our social media consultant, to kick off the webinar, here's a bit of background on her. Heather Porter is a digital marketing expert with 15 years of experience as a business owner, consultant, and speaker. She is the founder of Website Love, a digital marketing agency, and a #1 Amazon Kindle best-selling author. As one of only 4 Meta certified lead trainers in Australia and New Zealand, she teaches businesses how to use Facebook and Instagram to leverage digital marketing effectively. Heather also shares her expertise as an instructor at the University of Sydney Centre for Continuing Education and as a podcast host. Her passion is simplifying digital marketing to businesses can focus on what truly drives results. So over to you now, Heather.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Maiva. I really appreciate it. And Pacific Trade Invest. And hello, everyone. Welcome to the session. I can see some of you are in a boardroom, some of you are on your phones. It's really wonderful to be here with you. What I'm going to do is share my screen, and I'm going to start letting a few more people in. So we'll get that going. And while I'm doing that, would all of you please mind finding the chat button and tell me what your business is. So what do you do? What's your organization or business do? If you could find that chat and let me know, so I know that I can have a little, I can see your comments while we go, and I'm going to share my screen and get that set up and ready. Here we go. Screen is shared. So can all of you see the chat? Great. I see some of you coming in. Perfect. So we have real estate, business foundation support. We have organics, Kava Sole Trader, Pacific Adventist University, accommodation and value added fruit products. We have travel, we have business development, we have skincare, trade commission, accommodation, consumer finance. Who else? Let me know. Let me know in the chat. We have specialty coffee roaster. Yum. I'd like a good cup of coffee right now. Administrations, logistics and consultations, regional organizations. Coming in so fast, I can't even read. It's so good. Clothing and accessories, retail, shore, tour operator, hand my bags. Keep letting me know. We have spa in there as well. Amazing. We have women in action cooperative, bike. We have vocational studies, mechanical, homestay. If I'm not reading all of yours, just because you're letting me know so fast. I'm loving all of you coming in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in. NTO, ice beverages, coconut, VCO, mines and petroleum. Okay, we have a huge mix, a huge diverse mix of amazing people in this virtual room. So welcome. I'm honored to be here with you and spend the next 90 minutes with you. Now, what's going to happen over the next session is if you have any questions at all, please find that chat that you've just found and please go ahead and ask questions. I will stop periodically throughout our conversation together and double check that everything is nice and clear. And then at the end, we might have some time for questions as well, depending on how many questions come through out. So here we go. What I'm going to do is I'll go ahead and share my screen. I know my screen is being shared by you guys. I think all of you are coming in okay. I'm going to let some more of you in as well. This is excellent. So for those of you just coming in right now, we're just getting set up and ready. Come on in. And for those of you already here, please keep yourselves on mute as well. So we're going to go ahead and keep on mute so everyone can hear what's happening. So let me just keep letting some more of you guys in. There's so many. This is excellent. We're going to have the best time together, you guys. Excellent. And come on in, everyone, get sorted. Please keep yourself on mute. That would be wonderful. Thank you so much. Just going to go ahead and get you guys coming in. There's still some more of you coming in. Wonderful, wonderful. We will kick off momentarily. We're up to almost 100 you guys. This is excellent. We have membership intern. Welcome. Come on in. So good. All right. I think we'll be able to start momentarily. I'm just going to let another, I think we have about 20 more to come in. What a fantastic group. Okay. We'll let all of you guys come in. I'll introduce myself and then I might have to let some more in as well. So we'll see how we go. Come on in, get comfortable. Please keep yourself on mute. Today, we are talking about social media. This is your social media masterclass. I'm your presenter, Heather Porter. And of course, you met Maiva earlier from Pacific Trade Invest, who's hosting this incredible training with all of us. So let's get stuck in. Today's agenda, here's what we're talking about. What's working now on Instagram and Facebook. You heard earlier that I am a trainer for Facebook, for Meta. There's only a few of us. So I always like to start my sessions with what's working right now, which will help you get the best out of the platforms. We're going to talk about how to define and target your ideal customer. Also really, really important. This will help you get really clear on who you're talking to and what to say in your posts as well. We're going to talk about the customer journey. That's a big part of marketing, whether it's on social media or marketing in general. So we'll go through what that is and why it's so important, give you guys some examples. We'll talk about what and when to post to get the best results for your business as well. And I actually have some case studies that Pacific Trade Invest gave me earlier, or some examples of local businesses. So I'll pull those up on my screen and we'll talk through some ideas together on what's working really well with those accounts, as well as what potentially could be improved. And we'll finish with a brief overview of ads. So Facebook ads overview, ads manager versus boosted posts. So that's what we'll go on together with. And lastly, different campaign types and which ones to use, and when to use ads and how to measure results. All right, are you guys ready? Here we go. Let's do this. I think I've gotten all of you in the room so far. Welcome. A quick reminder, if you have a question, please find the chat, the little chat bubbles, and you can ask me questions and I will check those throughout our presentation. Also, if you wouldn't mind, please keep yourself on mute. That's just so all of us can hear easily without all the background sounds. So keep yourself on mute and find the chat and ask me questions when you want. So guys, we are going to start with what's working right now on Instagram and Facebook. So let's talk a little bit about the types of content per platform. So the first one is Facebook. And I'll talk to you about that graphic in a second. But here's the deal with Facebook. Video and images work well. Both work well. And the best thing about today and social media is that you can get the best video on your phone. So you just capture video on your phone and that's going to work really well for you. So video, short videos, as well as images work really well on Facebook, both of them. Now for the actual sizing of your post, square or portrait. So what do I mean by that? Well, think about how we use our social media. It's from our phones, right? So when we hold our phones, it's going to be vertical. And to fill the space in our social media feeds as best as possible, square will fill that space, or even going more vertical, portrait size, right? So bigger, longer, not landscape. We want something that's going to fill the feed as much as possible. Posting frequency, if at all possible. Now, this is what Meta recommends, is 2 to 3 times a week. Now, you guys will have ideas as we go through this session together on what you should actually even post. So if you're thinking, Heather, I cannot possibly post 2 or 3 times a week, you will have good ideas. Now, why do we post 2 or 3 times a week? It's simply because we keep ourselves out there in front of our customer with really great content, and it helps what's called the algorithms. The second we stop posting, it's almost like we have to start again to get momentum in our accounts. Welcome for those of you just joining, by the way. About 10 of you have just come in. Come on in. Welcome and keep your microphone on mute, please. That would be wonderful. Now, also, another important tip is to never post text, just text only. You always want a photo or a video or pasting YouTube links because what happens is the YouTube video actually will not play inside of Facebook. Instead, if you have your own video, you upload it in. So YouTube links, they will take people off of Facebook and it's not a very good experience. So video, upload your own or of course your images. Now, another interesting fact for those of you guys as well is if you ever include a link. So for those of you that have a website and you're pasting a link to your website for somebody to check out your products, to book an accommodation, to contact you, those links mean that you won't get as much traffic from your posts. So the second you put a link in, essentially you're taking people off of Facebook onto your own website, and Facebook doesn't like it very much. So they will not give your post as much attention as posts without links. However, we have ads, we have boosted posts. If we really want people to come to our website, we can look at advertising, which we'll talk about a little bit at the end of our session. And longer captions can work really well. So that's the text that you put with your video or your images. So longer captions explaining who your team members are, talking through your accommodation, talking through the products that you have. You can actually write more because it is a place for people to not only consume video and photos, but also text. A lot of people like to read more on Facebook. So on the right-hand side, we have what's called an infographic. You guys heard of those? So it's just simply a visual graphic teaching something or sharing maybe a special that you have in your business coming up. So with that, this is really, really important. These are good. These are definitely good. So you can use photos of people or these types of graphics. But if you do these types of graphics, keep in mind that less is more. So you don't want to put too much text on top, because imagine if this graphic was squished down onto a phone size. Could you read everything that's on it? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe if you pinch and scroll in. So just always keep in mind if you're creating graphics, put less text on the graphics so people really get the key point that you want to make. Hopefully that's making sense. So just keep an eye on those graphics, you guys. There we go. Don't use too much text on an image or people will just scan right over the top of it on their phone. When they're scanning in their feed, they'll think, I can't read it. It's too much text. I'll just keep going. And obviously you want people to see your post properly. Okay, now let me talk a little bit about the orientation or the ratios of your photos. So remember I just said square or portrait is best. So this is an example of what I mean. So what is really, really popular right now on Instagram and Facebook is what we call the 4:5 aspect ratio. So it's a portrait, right? It's longer than a square. And I've given you the actual dimensions in there. So we have pixels, centimeters, and inches. If you're working in something like Canva, which is a fantastic graphics tool, then the size you would use would be 1080 pixels wide by 1350 pixels high. And that is a really great size for any work that you do going ahead on Facebook, whether it's a video or a photo that you load or a graphic that you might make as well. I'm just going to check in just to make sure everything's good. I don't see anything in the chat, so it looks like we're going on really well. And welcome for those of you that just joined. A whole bunch of you have just joined. Welcome. Come on in. All right, here we go. So types of content per platform, and I'll walk through what that little image is in a minute. So moving on to Instagram. So that was Facebook, right? So portrait, square, videos, photos work really well 2 to 3 times a week. So what works well on Instagram? Mostly video, by the way, is over on Instagram. It's because it's all about reels and stories. So videos are big, but you can definitely try images. Images do work. And you know what works really well over there are what we call carousels. So carousel is when you load in multiple images on Instagram. And have you ever been on Instagram when you flick across, there's like a little swipe. So that little swipe across, that's what we call a carousel. And it's really good for engagement and helping the algorithms on Instagram see that your posts are good because people are going to be scrolling across and that's engagement. So try that if you haven't. It's a little bit different than Facebook because if you load multiple images on Facebook, it creates a gallery. But if you load multiple images on Instagram, it creates a carousel. So definitely recommend doing those in addition to videos. Shorter videos over on Instagram tend to do the best, like TikTok, right? So short 60 seconds or less videos tend to do the best. So keep that in mind if you're doing videos over on Instagram. Next, using music. So Instagram, like TikTok, is a place where it's a good idea to use music. So you add in music on your videos. You want to add in captions as well. So that would be if you're talking in your videos, you add in what you're saying on top of the video, like a caption. And text overlays as well work really well. So for those of you that use TikTok, it's very similar to types of videos that work over on Instagram. It's just thinking short, punchy, good content. Sometimes I can put captions or text over the top of that. A little bit different than Facebook, right? Facebook's a little bit more casual, and you don't have to be quite as, I guess, curated with your content over there. Posting frequency as well over on Instagram is roughly 2 to 3 times a week for your normal posts that you do, or if you're doing stories, as often as possible. So, what is a story? A story is a quick clip that expires every 24 hours. And you'll know that if you have your phone and you go into your Instagram app, all the stories that are active are right up at the top. Right up at the top, there's like these little circles with pink, like a pink border around them or a rainbow border around them. Those are the stories, and that is basically the storytelling of businesses, and they expire after 24 hours. Highlight your best stories whenever possible. So if you are doing stories, so the story of your business, the behind the scenes, you can highlight those, and those are going to stick at the top of your profile. And stickers, which is what you see on my screen on the right. Use interactive stickers whenever possible on Instagram. It's the tool, it's the language of Instagram. So you can see over there, if you're creating a story or a reel, you have these little stickers that you can put on top. In the video, it's just a little icon that looks like a smiley face. If you click on that, you have all these stickers, right? So we can tag locations in. This is going to be very helpful for those of you that have an office or an accommodation or somewhere that you want to focus on showing people where you are. You can add questions or polls. You can do links as well, especially in your stories. So keep in mind these interactive stickers are really great to help get people involved with your content. Come on in, you guys. A few more of you have just joined, and please make sure you keep yourself on mute. That would be really helpful. Now, on Instagram, shorter captions tend to work the best. So remember I said on Facebook a little bit longer. You can write longer text normally on Facebook, but shorter tends to work a little bit better on Instagram because most of us just like to watch the video content over there, and we get the content inside the videos. And then that's an example of my profile. And you can see at the top, it says speaking tools I love, praise, tutorials, Facebook, etc. Those are highlights for stories. So basically you choose your story that expires after 24 hours. And if you say, no, I don't want it to expire, you can add it to what's called a highlight simply in there. I'm going to look at the chat. I see some comments coming in. So let's see what's happening with you guys in the chat. Some more greetings. Oh, good. Welcome. Yes. Greetings. We have a few of you coming in. All right, here's a question. What software would you recommend to edit image sizes? Stanley says. I think Canva is by far the easiest. You can get a free account, so Canva. They have an app for your phone as well. And what's great about it is if you're creating a post, it automatically gives you the sizes. So you can say, I want to create an Instagram post or I want to create a Facebook post, and it will start by recommending actual sizes. But you can also customize your sizing in there as well. There's a customize button. So Canva, who uses Canva here, by the way? Let me know in the chat. Just say Y for yes and no for N for no. Y or N. Who uses Canva? Let me know. Solomon Island. Hello, welcome. Bula. We have Vanuatu. I know you guys are all in here from different islands. Wonderful. Prefer Canva. Yes, Stuart. Stuart's VA, I think it says. Yes, Canva's amazing. Does that include Google Maps link for directions for your business? I'm not sure 100% what that means, Agnes, for that question. Does what include Google Maps? I guess give me some more context. Where would you be looking for Google Maps for that so I can give you more ideas? A lot of Canva users. Look at all those yeses. Good. We are in good company. I love Canva. Michael, you definitely should check it out. Yes, but only a little. They have really great tutorials, you guys, as well, in case you're wanting to learn it. It's the easiest tool by far to create images and size images for Facebook and Instagram. Which of you guys use it? Okay, excellent. So I'm speaking to people that know about it already. For Facebook, when you mention not including links, Agnes, yes, got it. So for your Google Maps, any link where you're sending somebody off of Facebook will tend to not get as much traction, as much traffic. So what you want to do with your Google Map is you could include that on Instagram in your bio. So when you're creating your bio on Instagram, there's a links in there, and you can put one called Google Map. I'll do that on your Instagram bio. For Facebook, yeah, I mean, use it if you want people to come and find you. Use the link. Just keep in mind that you might not get as much traffic or engagement on that particular post. Also put it in you have a link area or an about section in your Facebook page. You could do that there too. For posting frequency, can we cheat with one post and maybe repost per week? I love that. That's good. Good question. Look, ideally, you want to have different posts, but with that said, you can rotate through older posts. So, what I recommend that you do is you can find posts that performed well, maybe from a few months ago, and then you can use those. But you don't want to keep posting the same thing over and over because Facebook has AI and it can see, oh, this is exactly the same post, and then nothing, it won't show it to anybody. So if you take old images or old videos from a few months ago and then maybe change the text, then that's a good strategy. Your most popular ones. How many photos are good for a carousel on Instagram? Roughly 3 to 5 is what Meta says is best. 3 to 5. You can do photos, you can do infographics, like I shared as well, where each graphic might have a point or something to share. But yeah, start doing those carousels. Definitely recommend them. Okay, I think I'm caught up with your questions, which is excellent. Good questions, you guys. Appreciate that. I'm just going to see if more of you need to come into the room. Let's see. I think a couple of you are still unmuted, so make sure you please mute yourself as well. That would be really helpful. Gonna let another group into the room. This is excellent. We are now into the hundreds of attendees, so this is such a good group. Okay, let's carry on. And like I said before, if you do have questions, let me know. Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about Instagram. So remember I showed you on Facebook where we have the portrait or the square sizes, and we mentioned using, say, Canva to resize those. Now, Instagram is a little bit different. So it has mostly what it wants you to do is vertical, right? It wants the vertical videos, full portrait of your phone, 16 by 9, as we say. But I want you to understand too that Instagram recently changed its grid, its main feed area. You might have noticed it used to be squares and now it's portrait. So all the grid area of everyone's profile is now portraits. So what happens if you're doing a video and you have the little teaser on your grid? It's going to crop it into a portrait. So what I've given you here is what's called the safe zone. So if you're doing reels, or videos, and you want to make sure that it crops really well in that sort of profile area of your Instagram account, keep all the text in that area. Do you see in the red slide in the middle? It says keep all important information inside here. For any of you doing ads as well, if you do ads, this is going to be a really important slide for you because what you can do is use this. Keep in mind whenever you're doing your content for ads, make sure all of your text and important information's inside of that area there in the red slide. So just make sure that on any sort of device, on any sort of placement or area, your content will look the best. All right, let's move on to the next one. I think there's one of you on mute. I'm going to mute a couple of you guys as well, just to make sure all of you can hear properly. Okay, if I can find you. Make sure you're muted, those of you that come on in. Now, using the two types of content with the highest engagement, use that too. So here's 2 types of content that I highly recommend that are going to get you the most engagement on Facebook and Instagram. The first one is, we call it BTS or POV, behind the scenes or point of view. If you guys ever seen maybe on TikTok or maybe on Instagram, you see when people say POV, it's point of view, essentially. It's like what you're looking at, what you're doing, what you're working on. Or behind the scenes is similar, like the behind the scenes of your business. What's happening behind the scenes? This is by far such a high engaged piece of content. And think about why, because we use social media to be social and we want to connect with people and we want to know what people are up to as well. We want to know what's going on with the different brands and businesses that we like. So, examples. We have a tool called Hootsuite. They are a social media dashboard and publishing tool. You can see there that they say, "Go team, go." High fives to the Hootsuite team who did the big 10K Sunday fun run. So that is an example behind the scenes. It's the story of what their team is working on or what their team is doing. We also have a point of view video on the right, POV. This is for a human resources consulting company. You've repeated yourself 10 times and your team still looks confused. Am I speaking a foreign language? So this is a little video clip of her pointing to things on a chart, right? So examples of you can be funny, you can show like the one on the right is kind of funny. She posted this, by the way, on LinkedIn as well as Facebook, as well as Instagram, and got a lot of comments. People really, really loved it. So be creative, tell the story of your business, show photos, show videos of what you're working on, what your team's doing as well. That's a really great piece of content. The next second most highest piece of engaged content is user generated content. UGC, as we call it. So this is like your community-based content. This is where you get content from other people. And a really good one is interviews. So you can interview your clients, you can interview experts, you can interview people in your community, your employees, all of that. You can do short little interviews. Event highlights. For those of you that have accommodation or in hospitality, you probably have events, right? So all of the events that you do, you'd want to do little videos or little images of highlights. One of you coming up does fashion, and I have a little case study which we'll look at together. And there's really beautiful user-generated content. So you'll see coming soon what I mean by this and how you can use it. But showing your customers and your clients. Testimonials, if you have testimonials, you can do a Canva graphic. Just go into Canva and search for testimonial templates, and you can use your Google reviews, or if people leave you testimonials, you can turn them into graphics and you can share those. Case studies, for those of you that have services, or even in hospitality, if you work with events or weddings, you can do like a before and an after, the journey of what it was like to put together a package for somebody, for example. So case study is different than a testimonial because it's like a before and an after. It's a video or images talking through how you work with somebody. And definitely profile your customers. Even if you have a cafe, take photos of them at your restaurant. Take photos of your customers shopping with your fashion or your products. Take photos of your customers at your accommodation. So it's a really great chance to build that community and also for social proof, right? That other people are doing stuff with your business. So consumers on that little graphic on the right, consumers are 83% more likely to trust peers, people, other people, rather than the brand itself. So having other people talk about what you do, other people talk about trends in your industry is going to be really powerful to build that rapport and that trust. Make sure videos are okay to watch with and without sound. Some people will watch videos with their sound off, some people with the sound on. Oh, I'll go back here. So that's a caption. Do you see on top of his video? Did you know you can? So you can do this directly in Instagram if you're doing videos on Instagram in your Instagram app. There's a tool in there called captions, and it will automatically put captions, what you say, on top of your video. CapCut is a very popular app that lots of people are using these days, especially on TikTok. CapCut allows you to do fun editing. So CapCut, and you can do your captions on top in a tool called CapCut. But I just use Instagram and create videos in Instagram because there's tools in there that make it really easy to do those captions. I'm just going to check out our chat, see if I've missed anyone. So many Canva users. This is excellent. Okay. Let's see. I'm down at the bottom of our chat together here. We've answered that question. Which social media platform is best for marketing, Facebook or Instagram? They're both a little bit different. Depends on your market. If you're in your local community and that's all you're marketing to, then you would probably know by talking to your community which ones they use. It's also dependent on ages. Instagram tends to be a little bit younger. Facebook tends to be a little bit older. So it depends on the age bracket as well of who you're trying to talk to. Um, I would talk to your customers, maybe add in polls and say, which is your favorite social media platform? And just get them to start to tell you. And maybe that's where you can start to focus. But both work. It just depends on your demographic. For measurements of pics, etc., will you share the summary? Would you share the presentation or summary after this session? I think so. Maiva, I'll let you weigh in on that one at the end, or if you want to answer that in the chat too. I think this is being recorded, and I think you guys get it, and I do share a PDF of the slides, so I'm pretty sure you get all of that. But I'll let Maiva come in, or PTI to come in the chat and confirm that. Okay, this is Canva. Here you go. 80% of you are using this. So I love to use animated GIFs, or like what we call mini movies. You can go into Canva and just type in like animated, and you see a whole library of all the animated, as we call GIFs or GIFs. And all of those on the screen right there, those 23,000 templates are animations. So I can choose one that I like, and I can plug in my own images as a base. It's a really easy way of creating your own animations. It's just use a template that already exists. It'll have moving text, moving images, and you just put your own stuff in to replace what's in the template. So that's a really great way to make like little animations. And yes, you will get the slides, and a recording will be shared in due course, so you get access to that. Okay, thank you for answering. How to define and target your ideal customer. Let's move into this. And I'm just going to double check. Do we have any last questions? Oh, good. Yeah, John, demographics. Yes, that's what we're going to talk about now. So your question is perfect timing, because this is framing me up for what we're going to discuss. So let's go into the next step. So how to define and target your ideal customer, demographics, essentially. So who are you guys promoting your business to? Think about it. Local, overseas. If it's overseas, where? Is it New Zealand? Is it Australia? Is it the US? I know if, especially for travel, you probably have quite a few different markets you focus on. Who are these people, and where do they live, and what are they interested in? Because once you start to get clarity on the people that you're talking to, then you know how to talk to them. You know what they might be interested in. So, for example, let's say you are targeting women that want to get married at your resort. So they want to have a destination wedding from Australia, for example. Well, your content would be heavily focused on women, potential brides, right? Pretty photos, lots of photos and images and videos of your resort, of the events that you do. So you always think like, who am I talking to, and what would they want to see? What would they want to see? So here's some demographics. As John asked earlier, what are they? So we have these 4 core areas in marketing when we are trying to make messages for people on our websites, on our brochures, on our social media. Demographics. So demographic is the age of our ideal customer. Are they a teenager? Are they in their 60s? Are they in their 40s? Are they across all age brackets? The location, like I just said, where do they live? Their gender may or may not matter. Depends on your business. Maybe you target both. The job, again, if you're the job is probably quite important. You might want to talk to a decision maker, a CEO, a manager. So that might be part of who you're trying to talk to. The psychographic is like how we're wired as people. So you might have people that are risk takers, and so like companies like Red Bull, and those sort of energy drinks are more about risk taking. Are they shy? Do they want to be spoken to quite politely? Do they like value? So they might like discounts and sales, or maybe they don't like discounts and sales. They might want more luxury. We have interests as well. So the types of hobbies, maybe favorite brands that they're liking, and goals and challenges as it relates to what you're selling them. So if it's travel, because I know there's quite a few accommodation here. So their goal might be they want the perfect family holiday. They're saving a lot of money. They're really doing a lot of research. They want the perfect family holiday. Their challenge could be There's too many options. Which island do I go to? Do you have transport? Do you have activities for the kids? So this is why you think through this, because you can communicate all that with your social media. You can show, oh, this is the perfect place for a family. We have kids activities. So you're showing the value in that. So that's what we think about as our what we call customer avatar, or our ideal customer that we're trying to attract into our business on social media marketing. You want to think of all these things because then you're able to create posts and content that support that person. And remember, an 18-year-old would be want to be spoken to very differently than a 60-year-old, right? Very differently, the way they would want content. So that's why we get clear on who we're talking to. And yes, you are right, Mervyn. There's a lot to share and a lot to absorb. So by now, what I recommend for you guys is that you're all coming in from different businesses, different amounts of teams, different experience. Whenever I go to a presentation like this, I always write down maybe my top 5 things to action where I am right now in my business. So keep that in mind as we're going through this. You don't have to know all of this. It's just thinking, oh, that's a really good idea. I should use that. Or, oh, I should do that. I could do that better. Because no, there's no way you're going to be able to do all of this, right? It's just a huge amount of content. Pick what's going to work best for you. So thanks, Mervyn, for bringing that up. Yes, it is a lot to absorb, but yeah, you will get the slides. So that's the type of customer avatar, right? The person we're trying to attract. But now what we want to talk about is the customer journey. So this is how the person that we're trying to attract does business, makes decisions on who to buy from. So let's start with this. What are their aspirations or goals? So if we think about the person that we're trying to do business with, what is their goal? We always want to think through this. Keep this in mind when doing your content. For example, do they want to find the best hotel to stay in, like I mentioned before with accommodation? Maybe if you sell clothing or fashion, do they want to stay up to date with fashion trends? Or if you sell products potentially for gifts, maybe their goal is they want to buy a really great friend a gift. Or maybe you have a shop or a cafe or a restaurant, maybe they want to buy some food. Or maybe you're a painter or renovator, maybe they want to paint their house, right? So you think through their objective, and that's all you're doing is you're just supporting that goal with really great content. So customer journey, here we go. I'm going to give a very, very easy example. We're going to talk about food because all of us eat food and all of us can understand food. So hopefully you're not too hungry because this will make you even hungrier. Now, customer journey, this is the steps that people do to buy something. Every single person does it. It's how we buy things as people. So based on that, I'm going to give you the example of food. And understanding the customer journey will help you understand that there's different types of posts that you do on social media as well. So there's different types of posts to help people with this journey. So we're going to use food as an example. The first step in the customer journey is awareness. So this is when somebody becomes aware of something that they want. It could be something that they want, or it could be a problem that they have that they want fixed. So in the case of food, it's nice and simple. I'm hungry. That's it. That's awareness. We're aware that we're hungry. That's what awareness is in the customer journey. And at this step in the customer journey, the good content is going to be like behind the scenes. It's going to be that point of view. It's going to be testimonials. It's going to be showing like good education. It's helpful. It's helpful content. So we decide, hey, we're hungry. Now we move into what's called consideration. We're going to decide where we're going to get our food. So in this step, this is going to be, okay, do I want to, I'm considering, right? So do I want to walk down the street and go to the local cafe? Do I want to get takeaway? Do I want to go buy groceries and cook something? Oh, I have leftovers from last night. Do I want to eat that? Do I want to go and bribe my kids or my coworkers to give me their food? Whatever it is, we're considering our options, right? So again, content in this step would be showing what you do, showing your products, showing your services, showing your rooms and your accommodation, case studies, testimonials. You want people to consider you versus someone else. So awareness is very helpful, educational, fun, storytelling. Consideration is why you're good. And then we have purchase. So let's say we decide, I'm going to go to the cafe down the road. That's my decision. So now we're going to that business and we're going to purchase or convert at that stage. Now we walk in and we see the menu up on the wall and there's a lot of choices and we go, oh, look, there's a lunch special. Okay, cool. I'm going to get the lunch special, buy one, get one half off. I'll bring my friend and we can do that. So purchase is where you help someone decide what they should choose. Essentially the menu of your business, you're helping them through your social posts. So you might have a seasonal special, or you might have a bundle, or you might have new stock, or you might have an early bird special. It's all of that sort of content. You're helping somebody choose from the menu of your business what they should do. Then we move into what's called retention and advocacy. This is the community, the tribe building. So getting your customers to come back, retention, getting customers to recommend you, advocacy. So this content is kind of similar to awareness, storytelling behind the scenes. It's talking about new team members that you have. It's talking to events that you're going to. It's talking about anything that's interesting about your community and your business, because that's how you retain your customers. So that is the social media customer journey, different types of content for each step. So we'll now go in, I'll give you some clear ideas for each. Awareness. How can you get new people interested in what you offer without selling? That's the question to ask. You're not, in these posts, you're not selling. So you're, again, storytelling, fun videos, behind the scenes. It's that sort of content. You're always thinking, how do I get new people interested without directly selling? Because if they're aware of their problem, they're not necessarily aware of what they want to buy yet. So that's a really good one for that. Now, you'll rotate through these types of content as well, right? So you're rotating through because when people discover you, they're going to be at any one of these stages. The people that follow you on social media are going to be in any one of these stages at that time. So you rotate through these content. Consideration. Okay, so what can you share to get people to come to your website, visit you, call you, DM you, go to your Google Map link? That's consideration. You want them to start to consider doing business with you. So what can you share? Testimonials, case studies, new releases, new stock, new branding, interesting things about your business to get them to consider you versus someone else. Purchase or conversion content ideas. What can you share that will get somebody interested in taking action right now? Specials, deals, discounts, new releases, only 10 spots left. It's that sort of content. And then you have retention and advocacy. How can you get current customers to keep buying and refer business to you? Good storytelling, what you're working on works really well for this type of content. So that's customer journey. You're rotating through the different types. Now, we're going to move on, you guys, to what and when to post to get the best results. So first things first, you want to find out what your current followers are already liking. So you want to start there. If you're actively posting, start with what they already like, because you want to continue doing the things that are already working. So inside of your Facebook account, your Facebook business page, you have a section in there called Insights. So if you go into your Facebook page from your computer, on the left-hand side, you'll see an area that says Professional Dashboard and Insights, and you can go in your Insights to see data. On your phone, there's an app. It's called Business Suite. It's Meta Business Suite. So it's an app that you can download on your phone, and it also has insights. So you can look from your phone or you can look from your computer, either or. So if you click on insights, you're now taken into an area like this that basically has different areas. And yes, Chris, I know it's kind of confusing sometimes as well. I'll give you a tip on what to look at. The best place to look, there's two sections. Number one is content. So scroll down, find content. That's your content, by the way. So if you have your Facebook page and your Instagram account linked together, do you see on my screen right there where you can see the title and it has all my posts? You see little icons. It shows Facebook and it shows Instagram. So I can actually see out of all my posts on Instagram and Facebook in the same place, which ones are getting the best results. So I look for reach. So how many people saw it? I'm looking for reach. How many people saw it? And If a lot of people are seeing it, it means that it's worked with the algorithms. It means that there's good engagement. So you can scroll across in there and there's different stats, but reach is a really good place to start because it's showing which posts of yours people are liking and how it's reaching more people. And then you can just click on the post from directly in there and go, oh, what was that post again? Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, easy. So content is a really good one to look at. You also have audience, which is in there too. Audience is hiding up in the top under my first gold arrow. It's just under overview. It says overview plan and it says audience. Look at your audience. It's going to show you where they live, their age range, their gender, their cities, countries, all of it. So you're actually going to see where your followers are from. It might be kind of interesting to just check that out and see what's going on. So as a just a starting point of good analytics or insights to look at your audience, just see who are they if you've never looked at them before. But content, keep an eye on your content. Go in there once a month and go, hey, are these new behind the scenes posts that Heather told me about, are they working well? Oh, I've put more video in this month. Is it working well? And then you'll start to see what's working in these areas. So that is your area. Look at your most popular posts. That's insights also on an app on your phone, Meta Business Suite. You can find it in there too. There it is. It looks like that. That's the logo. And it's always changing colors. I think it's blue right now, or it might be gray, but it looks like that. Meta Business Suite app. Now, what do you say in your posts? What do you actually say in your posts? So we've covered the customer journey to give you an idea of like the types of posts, but there's some formulas on what to say as well. So what I recommend for all of you to do to keep things really, really simple and to help with that customer journey that I mentioned is to develop a content plan using pillars. So content pillars. And this is a case study from Facebook or from Meta. Of a business that did a really great job with this. It's a company actually in Australia. It's called Amber Drop Honey, and they do bee rescues, bee colony rescues, and they move bee colonies around, and then they sell bee products, so bee pollen, honey, things like that. So this is a great plan for all of you, right? So it's 4 content pillars that you rotate through. So you just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, rotate, rotate. So the first one is we have BTS, behind the scenes. So bottom left one, do you see that bottom left image of this slide is actually bees. So there's actually like little bees on that. So that is basically the behind the scenes of a bee rescue. It's what we're working on right now. It's another bee rescue. Next, you have education. This is another really good one. So theirs is a jar of honey. It's like a little graphic that they probably made in Canva. Did you know? And then it has the actual nutritional value. So it's a little educational piece of content. Then we have the user-generated content or community. So this one, they do a lot of local markets. So they'll do like events, highlights. They'll interview their customers. They'll it's basically their whole user generated, it's their whole community, lots of content happening around their markets. And then sales, that's the last pillar, is promoting stuff. So if you think about how this works with the customer journey, it's working really well, right? So you have your behind the scenes and education is very awareness and consideration. And then your community is part of that. And then your sales is much more about purchase. So if you just rotate through these concepts, you'll do a pretty good job. Now, moving through. Just rotate through those 4. Here's a couple of easy copywriting formulas, and I'm just seeing chat. I'm going to have a little look in here. It looks like, Chris, you've shared. Wow, I didn't realize how many followers are from Solomon Islands. Yeah, right? There you go. So Chris has already gone into his insights and he's looked at his actual followers and he's popped that in the chat. So I urge you guys to do the same. Have a little look. Easy copywriting formulas. Let's do this. So this is a really great formula, and it is something, if any of you use AI yet, like ChatGPT, it's something you can actually say to ChatGPT, or you can just write it yourself. You can say to ChatGPT, can you write me a social media post to promote my latest special, for example, using the problem, agitate, solution copywriting formula. And it will just, you tell it, this is what I want. This is my special. Use this formula and it will write it for you. Or you can write it yourself just using this formula. So this is a really great formula for sales. So the sales pillar, when you're promoting something, it has 3 steps. Essentially, what you do is you start with the problem. So when you're writing your content, you start the first sentence is a problem. So you're connecting with a person, right? Their desire or their problem. Ask a question or make a statement that they want. Are you looking for this? Essentially, do you have this problem? Do you want this? And then you agitate. It's just simply telling a story to connect deeper with their problem and show them that you understand their situation. I'm going to give you guys an example in a minute, so don't worry. Then we have the solution. Nice and simple. What are they supposed to do to get the thing that you spoke about in Agitate? Do they sign up? Do they call you? Do they visit your website? Do they direct message you? Do they read more, etc.? So let's look at an example. Nice and easy. This is what a gift company would do if they were selling, say, chocolate gifts. I know there's a coffee roaster in here. I think I saw chocolate as well. So here's what you could do. Problem. Are you trying to find a unique gift for your girlfriend? That's it. That's the problem. Is that what the person's doing? Yeah, that's what they want. So you just say it. Are you trying to find this thing? Agitate. We know how hard it can be to find the perfect thing. That's why we have put together our love box, which not only has our top selling chocolates, but also has a custom love note that you can include. Imagine how special she'll feel when you turn up with our beautifully gift wrap box. That's all what we call agitate. It's essentially like, hey, we understand. This is what we have. This is why you're going to love it. We understand. This is what we have. This is why you're going to love it. And then just click the link below to buy online. That's basically what you're going to do there. Okay, so we're going to move in. Makes sense, you guys? A problem, agitate, solution. You can use this as a prompt for AI, or you can just literally do it yourself. Really great for ads, really great for sales posts. All right. So guess what, you guys? It's local example time. So Maiva sent me some links to different local businesses. Some of you guys might even be on this session. So what I'm going to do is I'll pull up actual images. I've taken some screenshots and I'm going to walk you through what I believe is working really well and also what could potentially be improved. And now at this part in our conversation, I have a feeling that you guys are going to have ideas too. So when I share these, you'll probably think, oh, they could do this or they could do this. So let's do this. Here we go. Local example number one, we have Savvy Vanuatu, and this is their Facebook. So I've gone to their Facebook profile or their Facebook page and I've just screenshotted it. So let's have some chats around what we think is working well here. So let's have a look. So first one is a very good profile image. So that's the little white circle. Do you see the little icon in their logo? They're very smart because they knew that they couldn't fit Savvy Vanuatu all in that little circle. Because that little circle, that profile image, is teeny tiny on a phone. And pretty much 95% of people that use Facebook are on their phone. So it's tiny, tiny, tiny. So there's not much you can do in that little tiny circle, but they were smart and they used the icon in their logo, something that could fit in that space. So very smart. So I recommend for you guys, this would be a good opportunity to look at your Facebook profile and to see, is your little image, does it fit well? Does it look good on a phone? Or is there a change that you could do? Different cover photo. I would say, so that green photo at the top, that cover photo is a great opportunity to do marketing. So instead of a logo, maybe you could add the team. So a photo of the team, a photo of, because it is a consultancy company. So I do team photo right up at the top there. For the About section, see how it says intro? It says communications, marketing, and project management consultancy. So perhaps you could say who. Who for? Who's that for? Is it for small businesses? Is it for certain industries? So that little intro, that little About section is really important for new people that come to your page to say very quickly what it is that you do and who you help. Now, next, such a great photo. Look at this. Now, what we have here is I have the post on the left, and then I've tapped see more. And then on the right-hand side of the screen, when I click see more, that's what's written. That's the caption. Remember how I said on Facebook you could write more text? That's what they've done, and it looks really good. And they have emojis and all sorts of things going on, which is excellent. So this is a great case study. Remember how I said case studies, user-generated content. It's a really good case study. They did a couple of things really well. So they tagged people in. Do you see on the post on the right where it's in blue text? What they did is they put like the @ symbol and then wrote the name of the person or the business at, and then the name of the business, and that tags in the person or the business. So they've put all that in, working with at Secretariat of the Pacific Regional Environment Program. It's a long one. They tagged that in. So these people are going to get alerts that they're tagged in, and they can easily share these posts with their own community, their own page. So tag people in whenever is relevant. And then they showed not only a photo of the team, but you can see the bottom left is a photo of the people actually holding the brochure that they created. And then we have one on the right as well with the brochure. One thing, just so you guys know, don't know if you know this, but hashtags don't normally work on Facebook. So you see the hashtags at the bottom where it says hashtag NPOA launch, and it has more from there. They don't tend to work on Facebook. They're not really a tool over there, but they're really good on Instagram. So you can use them on Instagram, but not necessarily on Facebook. But if you're posting, by the way, if you're creating posts on Instagram and you're sharing them across automatically to Facebook, don't stress. Like it's okay to have them go across from both platforms. No stress on that. So there you go. So that's a really good example. People, photos, really good photos, examples of the work, tagging people in as well. Great post. Next, here's another really great case study. Again, people, faces of people work really, really well on social media posts. And this is proven. So Meta has a lot of data, of course, with the millions and millions of accounts all over the world. And they have analyzed the best posts that perform the best or videos are faces of people. So anytime you can add people, you're doing a good job. So here's another really great case study with people holding samples of the work of the brochures. Let's move on to VLab. All right, so VLab here, see that great cover photo where it says connection and it has a community, right? Faces, like I said, work really well. That top photo there is what we call a cover photo. So that is brilliant. I loved it. That was really, really good. Now, look at the profile photo where it says VLab and it actually has some text under there in white you can't even read. So, question is, maybe you could use the icon, like that little, looks kind of like a little circle. Maybe that's the profile photo. Or maybe you have to zoom in and just have the word VLab bigger so it fills that circle even more. So just be aware, how will your profile photo look, that little circle of your logo, how will that look on phones? And is there a better image that you could perhaps use or a different crop on your logo? Really good about statement. Look at that on the intro. Welcome to VLab, Port Villa's first business idea and organization incubator. So that's kind of a cool little catchy, this is what we do. So time to revisit your about statements, maybe you guys as well, perhaps. Moving on. Left-hand side, featured post. So you can do this both on Instagram and Facebook. You can basically, when you do a post, you can click on the little more menu, like the three dots to the right-hand side of your post, and you can pin it on Instagram. So you can pin posts or feature them. So essentially they stick to the top of your profile or your page. So this is a little featured post that they've done calling out all environment entrepreneurs. And then that's a little short video. So you can click into the video to apply to be part of the program. So it's really smart. Featured posts. Whenever you have a special or something you want to feature, you can do that. Look, that's an infographic, you guys. Remember I showed you in Canva? A couple things I love about this. Look at the portrait. Remember I said portrait, a bit bigger than a square? That is the 4:5 ratio that I gave you the dimensions for earlier. That is a portrait infographic, maybe designed in Canva. And look how good that looks, right? So congratulations, BLP grant awardees. And then you have the photo of the person because we know people's photos work well. And then we have their name and their cohort that they're a part of. And then their little caption. So I have the caption. I've screenshot that at the bottom right where I clicked on see more. Look, they've tagged in other accounts. So they've tagged in Linda, they've tagged in Candace. So they're using that strategically to get more reach and more engagement. So whenever you can tag in other pages, definitely do it. All right, moving on. Next, we have another one of their posts from VLab. So with this one, I just happened to go down on the VLab post, and this was from probably 5 days ago. I think this one was posted. By the way, that's another infographic, right? Apply now. There's a couple things with that. first question I would say, would that look good on a phone? Could we see all that text okay on a phone or not? That's something to think about. But more importantly, there are comments. Do you guys see the comments on this post? So we have Nile. This opportunity is for Vila only or other provinces as well. So that was left at the point I looked with no response from the page. And then we have Rinith tagging in Mac. So these are people tagging people in. So whenever you're getting good comments on your posts, I highly recommend respond as quickly as possible. Even if people are tagging in friends or family or colleagues, you can just go and like the post or say, hey, thanks for recommending somebody. So be active in your comment section because that will help with your engagement and your reach. And it also shows that you have really great customer service as well. Just a little heads up on an easy way of doing that. Earlier, when I took you into the insights area, so that's in your professional dashboard, either in your Facebook page on your computer or your Meta Business Suite on your phone, there's an area in there that's called inbox. And in your inbox, you can see all of your comments and all of your activity in one place. So you never miss a comment. All right. I'm going to move on to the next one. And I have a question, so I'll pop into that right now. Let me just go into that one sec. Here we go. Okay. Stuart, yeah, so got a rental business and we'll have the feedbacks from customers posted in Canva templates. Perfect. That's what you do. You can just literally copy their testimonials, like the best thing that they say about you, and pop it into Canva templates. That's so good. And Carolyn, we have, does it matter if you post, example, on the Facebook Meta business page as a post story and a reel of the same content, or change it around to make it more eye-catchy for each, or to just post one? Okay, so really good question. So if you are doing a post, so a post and a reel is actually the same over on Instagram. So a reel is a post, it's just a video. So it is the same thing. So a post is essentially the content that you put in there, whether it's a video or an image or a carousel. So that's what that is. Every time you do a post, I do recommend to share it as a story. So you just share it. So there's a share button, like specifically on Instagram, there's like a little paper airplane icon underneath all of your posts. If you click on the little paper airplane icon, there's an option to share to your story. Every time you do post, share it to your story. It's just good cross pollination. So you definitely can share the same exact post to your story. So that's really good. All right, what else do we have here with your questions? Okay, a few more of you are even jumping in. This is great. Let some more of you in. All right, so back into your question. Next one. How do I generate a QR code the guest can scan and leave a review on Facebook, Instagram, and TripAdvisor? All right, QR code. I'm grabbing my phone. Guys, I want to give you the right domain. My absolute favorite QR code generator. The reason why I love it is because you can create what are called dynamic QR codes, meaning that if you print the QR code, you can actually, in this tool, change the URL. So you're not stuck with a QR code linking to a certain page. You can keep changing that URL. I think it's called QR Chimp. Let me just double check. I want to make sure I'm giving you the right one. Like MailChimp, right? So, but it's like QR Chimp. That's one I've used for years. Yes, QR. Just Google QR code chimp, or it's QR code chimp.com. QR code chimp. It's funny. But you create a free account and you can create even like colored QR codes. You can stick your logos into your QR codes. It's quite fun to use. And then it'll let you export that as a PDF or PNG, and you can use those on Canva. They're graphics that you can use anywhere you want to print. All right. VLab, there you are. You're welcome. There you are. I'm glad you're here, by the way. You have a really amazing organization. So yeah, really, I had fun checking you guys out. So let's see, is there an app you can download for generating QR codes? I don't think it's an app, by the way, but just it's a website. So QR code chimp. Perfect. Excellent. Excellent. Oh, QR code in Canva. There you go. There you go. So it lets you redesign the QR code, include your logo. A good question though on the QR code in Canva. I wonder if you can dynamically change the URL. But thank you for telling me that, Chris. I didn't even know that they've used QR codes. So I personally love the QR codes as long as I can update that link, that URL. I like to use that. You will get a recording of this and the slides in due time as well. Pacific Trade Invest, Maiva said that earlier, so you will get those. All right, another one. Is it Siga Spa or Saga Spa? So we have these guys. Good profile image. Look at that cute little graphic. That's really great, right? It's a person. So you guys don't have to actually use your logo in here as well. You can actually pull in like a photo or an animation or illustration. So for the cover photo at the top, maybe show the reception area or the team. So real people always perform better than animations. So real people would be great. And definitely add an about section. There was no sort of info section. It just shows like that this is the type of page, but adding in the info about the business, like what types of treatments that they do, what they're known for, that would be really good. One thing, unfortunately, they haven't posted since 2022. So for those of you that are here and you're going, oh, I haven't posted very much recently either, I'm hoping that you get some inspiration from this session. So remember, we have the customer journey, we have the different types of posts, promote your products, promote behind the scenes, storytelling. There's lots of different things that you could be doing and posting over time, which hopefully you've gotten a bit of a formula from this one. So not posted since 2022. So here's the problem with that too. If somebody's new, they're in the awareness phase and they have a problem, or they're shopping around for help, and they come to your page and they haven't seen you post since a year ago, or like months ago, or 5 years ago, they might question if you actually are still around. So it's a good idea to keep consistently posting on your account. Now, with these as well, there wasn't much text. You can see that on the left, right? It just says at Jackson's, and in the top right, it just says private home setup. So you'd want to explain this, like this is a private home setup. We can come to you. These are the types of treatments we can do. So you want to give more context or more text whenever you're posting. And great use of gallery photos, just taken from a phone, right? And shared as a gallery on Instagram that would look like a carousel that somebody would scroll across. So there's some ideas for that one. And next we have La Dolce Vita and Sabu Sabu. So for this one, this is an Instagram account. Have a look at that profile photo, by the way. It's two cocktails. So remember I said you could get creative. If your logo isn't going to fit, maybe you use the icon, or maybe you use a photo that represents what you guys do. So that was really good. So we have that. The Facebook was not active, I think, since 2019. So I think it might have been abandoned. But so I found some activity on the Instagram. The bio is really good. Imagine enjoying your own private beach, beautiful sunrise, waves lapping on the reef, silence, total serenity. I think that's it. I think it says like that's what we have, something like that, or that's our accommodation. It's a really great little bio. Another thing you can do on Instagram in your bio is create little emojis, and you can space it. So you can do like, your own private beach with like a little beach emoji. And then you go return or enter, and then a sun, beautiful sunrise, and then waves. So you can actually do line breaks. So it like stacks with little emojis. So you could do that too. But it's really good. Love the profile photo. Now, big opportunity to add videos and reels. So do you see at the top, it says there's three little tabs. It says posts, reels, and tagged. So your post is your main grid. And what happens is whenever you post a reel, it will also post to your post tab. So your posts will be your images, your carousels, and your reels. But a lot of people will just go straight to your reels tab because they just want to see all your videos. So I went to the reels tab and there's only one, but look at how many views. So they have 377 followers, but they got over 1,000 views on that video. So videos work really well, especially beautiful scenic videos. And that was just a simple little video that they did. So huge opportunity to do more. And by the way, tagged, just so you know, tagged is where if people tag you in, that's where those are going to show. So anyone that's tagged you in, all the tagged posts will sit under tagged. So a lot of people will go to tagged and see what other people are doing with content around your business. So that is some recommendations for that. There's a really beautiful library on their Instagram of scenery and food as you can share. What's missing? People, right? People, faces, human beings. We really love to see other people. So big opportunity to share more people. Using portrait image dimensions as well. So you can see the image on the bottom right is a landscape. So social media is all about phone content, and therefore we want to fill the feed with square or portrait content. So make it big and portrait. That's my main recommendation from there. I'm going to go into some questions here momentarily as well. So stay tuned. I see some questions going in, which is great. Okay, let's go on to the next one. So Sunali Reef Resort and Spa Samoa. And so with this one, have a look at the logo, you guys. Actually, I've done two things. I put the Facebook one on the left and the Instagram profile on the right. So number one, brand both the same. So if you have an account on Instagram and Facebook, they should have the same like about statement or bio, and they should also have the same profile photo. Very important. So people know if they're going cross platform, oh, it's the same business. So that's the first thing I would do there. With the profile photo, one's a logo, one's an image. So, and of the image as well, maybe if you're going to use an image, it's an opportunity to zoom in more because that would be really small on a phone. And you can see the logo is actually cut off on the example on the left. So I think for this one, it's just coming up with something that's going to fit nicely in that profile image. Look at that beautiful cover photo at the top. Like that, just a simple photo like that is gorgeous on the top left. So yeah, an overall post much more often. There's a good opportunity with this beautiful resort to post a lot more. And then look at the intro is good. So enjoy your sun-kissed days and star-filled nights and the beauty of luxurious Sinalei. And then we have also the right-hand side Instagram one. So I think about how we can just make those the same. All right, next. Beautiful photos. This is more of their photos. Look at those stunning photos. It makes me want to go. So storytelling behind the scenes, scenic, beautiful shots. Now, all of the recent posts, however, are job hiring. So on the Facebook page, I went down, the last 5 posts are all we're hiring, we're hiring, we're hiring, but no actual content about the resort itself. So making sure that you're using those pillars, right? Mixing through those pillars and content buckets like we discussed. Add more behind the scenes posts when possible, like the bottom right one. So that's a behind the scenes. Look at that. Mornings in paradise. Though much has changed since we opened our doors, like, and then it gives examples. But it's like painting a picture of what it's like to be there behind the scenes in a morning with beautiful photos. Add more people too. Mix it up a little bit. So that would be that one. And then we have native wear. And for this one, we have a great cover photo, right? Have a look at that. It shows the clothing, shows it on a runway as well. Stunning. So, and yeah, that's a great cover photo because we get to see what the product is. Better logo, maybe? What do you guys think? I think what I would do with that is I would just zoom in on the circle and fill that entire circle space with just the circle of NW and then remove that native wear text that's being cropped off on that profile photo. Definitely add an about area on this as well. There's no sort of, it doesn't really say what type of clothing in the intro or the about section. All right, so this is what we call user-generated content. So all of Native Ware's posts are UGC. So essentially what they're doing is they're showing the beautiful bridal outfits of all their customers. So stunning, beautiful photos. Can you introduce other types of content? What about video? Showing the dresses, twirling, walking, the team, talking about how you work, where you get your inspiration. All of this sort of content would be really great to introduce in and amongst the UGC, which is already perfect and I would not change. And I think this might be the last one. We have Shrita's. So look at that great cover photo on hers. How catchy and wonderful. Straight away, you're thinking probably she works in content or maybe she's a photographer. And then we have a decent photo as well, profile photo of her. So if you're promoting yourself as an individual, you can do a cover photo of you or you working with clients as well as your profile photo, and definitely adding an about section there. So the intro is find that out yourself, you will be amazed. So instead of doing something like that, she would say what specifically she does. And then when sharing other people's posts, so if you guys share other people's posts on your Facebook, so you like find a page and you click share, write your own comments about it. So this one, she shares a lot of other people's posts, but she doesn't write her own comment. So for this one, why specifically did she share this? She could say, oh, look, this is me featured here, at Merchie FM, for example, and this is what we did together. So she just shared it, but she didn't actually put a comment above it. And definitely post more often on this one. I think there were a post every year, like a couple every year. So more posts. Okay, I'm coming over to you guys for some questions, and then we're going to move into the Facebook ads piece of the chat as the last little segment that we're going to discuss. So let me just have a little look at our comments. Okay, we've covered that. We've covered that. Let's see. Um, Soundtracks for videos. Any advice? Soundtracks for videos. What type works best? Okay, well, Dennis, first of all, I love just using like just making my videos in Instagram, and you can just add music there. So there's a music icon when you're creating your videos or your reels in Instagram. There's a little music icon. You just add that in. You have all the most popular music, or you can type in like inspirational music. But I also will buy royalty-free music as well. Canva has some music. It's not the best, but I like two companies for me I really like are Art Grid and Art List. Art Grid and Art List. One does like what we call B-roll or filler video footage, and the other one does music. So you can buy like what we call filler video footage and then also music that you can use in your own footage. So what would work best? It depends on your demographic, age range. Younger, maybe more like hip hop or pop. Older, maybe a little bit more inspirational, cinematic, that sort of stuff. But you can tap into trending music by using the little music icon in Instagram. And if you're over on TikTok, same thing. There's music you can add there. Let's see, use the QR code. We've covered that in Canva, so we've covered all that. Ruby wants Chris to teach her on how to add QR codes in Canva. How often should you change your profile picture? So your profile picture would stay static. That would be your logo or a picture that you want people to know about your business, so your core brand. You just keep that. You could keep that for years. For your cover photo, though, the big photo that sits at the top on specifically Facebook, you can change that as often as you want. So you can promote different specials or deals or people in that cover photo. So you can definitely change that. Profile photo, find a good one, and you can stay with that for years if you want. Let's see, any recommended app that can be used for easy booking for tour operators? Good question. Probably not a good question for me because I'm more based on social media. So maybe if any of you guys have ideas on the last question for recommended apps to be used for easy booking for tour operators, if any of you want to weigh into that, please go for it in the chat. And maybe PTI might have some ideas for you as well. All right, let's go on to the next one. Here we go. Facebook ads overview. Now, I have a question for you guys. Who has ever run ads on Facebook or Instagram, whether it's in Ads Manager or boosted posts? Type Y for yes, N for no. Any type of ad, boosted posts or Ads Manager. Yes, Y, or no. N for no. Okay, so good. We have quite a few yeses in here. This is excellent. Let's just see. Yes, yes, yes. Boosting. Yep, perfect. Carolyn does some boosting. Excellent. Yes, you'll get the recording for sure. Yes, we have lots of yeses, some nos. We have a lot more yeses than I thought, you guys. You're savvy. This is great. Love it. Okay, lots of yeses, some nos, good little mix. Okay, perfect. I'm getting to know you guys. Now, there's something called boosted posts, and boosted posts is the easiest way to do ads. It's very, very simple. I'm going to show you on my screen just how easy it is. So what happens is that with a boosted post, you create a post first. And a great place to start would be doing that problem, agitate, solution formula. Remember, hey, are you having this problem? Here's something amazing for you, and here's where you go and get it. That sort of flow is a really great post you can do to make a boosted post. So you create a post first on Instagram or Facebook, and then you boost it, which means you're going to put some money behind it and tell Instagram or Facebook who you want to see this post. So you're spending money essentially to get the post to go to more people, as we say, amplify. So we move on from there. So look at the screen here. So here's a post that we created here for a wedding magazine. We click on boost post. Next, you have this screen that comes up. And I'm doing this by these screenshots are on a computer, but you can do them on your phone in your app as well. So you have a goal. So Facebook will give you like an automatic goal. It will basically say, hey, we're going to automatically try and find the best results, but you can always change that. So if you want specifically people to go to your website, if you put a link in the post, you could change that to website traffic. There's different options if you tap on the change button in there, or you can just let Facebook try and work out what's going to be best for you. Special ad categories, that, as you can see, is based on like politics and things like that. So you just skip over the top of that unless you're a politician. And then we have your audience. So for audience, you can choose people you choose through targeting. And if you tap on that, you then see this. So you have your age range. Remember, we spoke about demographics. So your age bracket, you then have your location. Where do they live? Who are you trying to talk to? Are they in a different country? Are they local to you? You have your detailed targeting. So you can type in things like, in this case, this is for a wedding magazine. So we have newly engaged. So you can have relationship status, you can do job titles, you have like basic health and wellness, travel. There's some basic targeting that you can do in there. There's more targeting you can do in Ads Manager, but there's some basic targeting in here you can do. And then you save your audience, and then you choose your duration, how long you want your ad to run, and then how much you are willing to spend for that. By default, Facebook normally just says 5 days and like roughly 25-ish, at least in Aussie dollars. So from there, you have that. It's going to give you a rough recommendation. It's going to double check your credit card or PayPal or however you're going to pay for that. So what this means, you guys, is that in the audience section, you're now spending money to show that post to people that are in the audience that you've chosen on the screenshot on the left-hand side. It's all that means. It's a really simple little flow to create an ad. And just keep an eye on the estimated daily results based on your budget and how long your ad is going to show. From there, in your Facebook page, down the left-hand side, you have something called Ad Center, and that might also be in what we call your professional dashboard. This is where you keep an eye on your boosted posts. So anytime you boost a post, you can come to your Ad Center. Inside of there, you'll see all of your boosted posts that are active or old, and you can see the results. So this one, I got a reach of 1,300 people. So you can see based on your objective, if you chose website traffic visits, it'll show you how many people clicked to your website. I chose, I think, reach on that one, how many people I wanted to reach. So that is your ad center. Instagram, just as easy. Create a post on Instagram, boost it, select a goal. More profile visits can sometimes get you more followers, more website visits if you want people to go to your website, more messages if you want DMs, direct messages. You define your audience, same thing. So it can do automatic, which Instagram targets people similar to your followers, but I like to create my own. So I create my own. And then from there, I choose, like I showed you before, where they live, their gender, their age range, that sort of stuff, their interests. And then the budget and duration. So it's very similar to Facebook boosted posts, just with slightly different settings. It just looks a little different. Now, Ads Manager. So what is that? So Ads Manager is a area inside of Facebook that's more advanced. So look at that. Looks kind of overwhelming if you've never been in there before, but it's essentially taking the boosted post that you can do with a post that you've already created, and it allows you to have more settings. So you go through like a 3-step process in here, and essentially you have way more settings. So you can do carousels, and you can do shopping ads, and you can do more settings with your audiences and your targeting, different budgets, different types of objectives. So it's just it's more of boosted posts. That's what it is. And it can be overwhelming too. So I recommend, if this is something you want to look into, that you take a training, you watch some YouTube videos, because there is a lot going on. So to show you an example, when you're creating ads in here, see, you have all these sections. So you have like primary text, and you have different videos that you can add. So it's much more complicated. However, with that said, if you're doing boosted posts and you're starting to get good results, I highly recommend to do Ads Manager, especially if you're going overseas. It's going to help you reach the best target markets for you and give you more options. And there's different types of campaign types as well. So when you're doing advertising, what do you choose? Like if you're actually going to do some ads, what would you actually choose? So to remind you what's available, we have these goals that exist. So on the left-hand side, it depends on your Facebook ads manager and what it looks like, because some of them look like what's on the left, some of them look like on the right. Boosted posts look like this as well. It depends on your phone, it depends on your operating system, but essentially you're going to see something that looks like one of these screenshots. And you have these options. So you can do automatic, which Facebook just tries to pick the best objective. You can get more messages, so more direct messages. You can get more video views if you're doing video. An objective could be to get more leads, so get people filling out a form to become a lead of yours. You could get more traffic or website visitors. You can do sales. So there's all these different objectives that you can do. So as you decide to do ads, you basically go, yeah, I want to get more leads. I want to make more sales. And you're telling Facebook, this is my objective that I'm going to do. And when to use ads and how to measure results. Well, here we go. If you have any questions, pop them in the chat because I'm wrapping up here in a minute. With ads, you guys, we have awareness is for engagement and keeping your content in front of people. You guys might have heard of awareness marketing. So awareness ads would be like education or behind the scenes or things like that. Consideration ads are when you want someone to take action on your ads. So awareness is like if you're expanding overseas or to new markets, you're sharing interesting content. Consideration is trying to get people to take action, like go to your website. So you might do user generated content or testimonials. And conversion is when you want somebody to buy something from you. So for these, you would be doing like specific promotions or sales. And ultimately, over time, most businesses will use all three, but a great place to start is with conversion. So boosted posts or ads to sell your stuff. That's the perfect place to start. And as you grow, you can expand into more of the other types of ads. And with results, remember in your ads manager or your ads center, that's where you come and you just keep an eye on your objectives. So this one, let's say I wanted link clicks. I got 150 link clicks from that. Perfect. I'm happy with that. So you're keeping an eye on your results based on your objectives. And in Ads Manager, you will look here instead. So in Ads Manager, you have your reporting dashboard, much more complex, as you can see from Boosted Posts, which was nice and simple over here. Whoops. Like that, easy, right? You just see views, reach, link clicks. Here, you're like, whoa, what's going on? A lot more happening, but very extensive advanced reporting that happens. And really my intention with you guys between these was just so you can understand and see the difference between Boosted Posts and Ads Manager, but Boosted Posts is a great place to start. So we discussed what's working now on Instagram and Facebook, how to define and target your ideal customer, understanding the customer journey. Remember the example of buying a meal, what and when to post to get the best results. We've talked about ads, boosted versus ads manager, a few different campaign types, and when to use ads and how to measure results. And now, with the last few minutes we have, I'm going to see if there's any last questions that have come through into chat. And I know Maiva's going to come back in a second as well. So let's see. A couple last good questions. This is excellent. Thanks for some of your comments as well. Okay, so I have a few questions. Number one, how many times do we boost per week, month? What is your recommendation? So if I have the budget, I will keep an ad going all the time. So I might keep one running for a month. If I have a promotion that I want to run for an entire month, I'd do it for a month. Or maybe it's just a weekly promotion that you do. Maybe you just do one a week. It comes down to how many promotions you have and your budget ultimately. The more you spend, the better content you put out, the more obvious results you're going to get. But yeah, that's where I would go with that. So weekly or monthly depends on your promotion and your budget. Perfect. We've covered all of that. Thanks, you guys. We have some thank yous coming in. If your budget was $100 and Insta or Facebook only used $84, for example, what will happen to the remaining funds? It depends on how you're paying. So if you're paying by credit card, they're only going to charge you for $84. That's how that would work. Same with PayPal. So they charge you based on what you spend. But if you've put funds in, like you've prepaid, then that is with them as a credit for you to use in a future ad. Perfect. Sorry for taking you back a bit. That's no problem at all. Mention that links on Facebook does not get us as much traffic. Correct. How do you propose we advertise vacancies as we use links for them a lot? Yeah, tricky. All right. So Anna, what I would do is try boosted posts or ads, even just spending maybe just a very minimal amount and doing a boost for 3 days. Just something basic. You don't have to spend a lot, but just as a test, right? So see if you can do a test with a boosted post, see the results difference that you're going to get. You can see that in your insights to see for reach, but yeah, that's ultimately going to be the best way to get the reach that you want. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't be doing links. Keep doing them. You're just not going to get as much reach as you would without links. Perfect. Thanks, you guys. How do we boost a Facebook ad, attracting more people to send messages? So when you do that in your boost that I showed you before, you click on boost. There's the objective at the top and it says automatic. Just change it to DMs, direct messages. There's literally an option in there that says change in your objective, direct messages. That's all you need to do. And it's going to put a little button in your post that says message me. That's it. Nice and simple. So that's after you boost in your objective area at the top. Perfect. Yes, you will get recordings. Let's see. I'm almost at the end of our little chat. There's a lot to unpack. Oh, I know. I would, let's say, as a business owner, I would like to budget someone in to do some of this work. Who would you recommend? I would say probably reach out to Pacific Trade Invest for some options. There's trainings. There's people like me that exist. They'll be able to probably support you with some places to look. So Ernestine, I would do that. I would reach out to Miva or PTI and they can help you with that. Thanks, you guys. So many thank yous. This is excellent. Thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure hanging out with you. I've had a really, really fun time. I'm going to say goodbye. I don't think there's anything else that I need. I'm just going to double check. Wow, Chris, 88,000 followers. That's amazing. Good. I'm glad I gave you some tips. Congratulations on getting 88,000 as well. Thank you. Thank you. I think there's one last question. Let's see. Been boosting posts costing 15 US, but receiving messages from about 25 to 30 people. Wow. However, when I started, I would reach 250 people for the same price. Yeah, it depends on when you started, but prices are always going up with ads. There's always more competition. Unfortunately, that's just the nature of digital marketing and ads. It always goes up. But keep testing ideas, Sophia, as well, because maybe it's just you testing different types of content, maybe videos if you're not doing videos to get better results, or animated GIFs or things like that. Okay, Maiva, I'll bring you back on. I think I'm done. Thank you, guys. Wow, so many thank yous. It's been fun hanging out with you. Let's see if she's there. I think she's on mute. Oh, there she is. Coming.
Thank you, Heather, for once again an incredibly insightful masterclass. The engagement today was outstanding. And to our participants, remember that you can leverage the power of Facebook and Instagram to reach over 5 billion unique users. Step into the world of social selling, not just social sharing. Stay connected and follow us on Facebook and Instagram at PTI Australia, where we regularly highlight the wide range of support programs available for Pacific businesses and share updates on our work across the region. On behalf of Pacific Trade Invest Australia, thank you for being part of today's session. We wish you every success as you put your new knowledge into action to grow your businesses. Thank you once again. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much, Pacific Trade Invest, for hosting. And
you're welcome.
Good luck. Go out there and do the things you learned. All right. Thank you. I'll close this down.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.